And
became one of the major
yeah, it was
books for preservation.
It was used as a text in a number of schools. In fact, it's still referred to. But I went down into the Caribbean, which was tough duty, and gave a number of workshops and papers in Jamaica and Puerto Rico, St. Thomas.
That was a rough.
St. Thomas.
That was rough.
St.
Go to St. Thomas. People go on cruises to go to St. Thomas.
And I taught down at the University of Puerto Rico at Rio Piedras, right outside of San Juan. And, let's see, in the 90s, probably just more of the same. Got involved in collection development research with Anna Peralt. And did a number of studies in cooperation with the, I forget what they call the center out there now. It provided the computer support for the state community college libraries.
Oh, that, yeah,
on the Blountstown Highway.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's see, I retired in 2000, so.
Okay. And so what have you been doing since retirement?
Oh, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Haven't been doing a lot of traveling, but we've gotten around the country a little bit. And let's see, I've been volunteering. I volunteered over at the emergency room at TMH, and I volunteered as a in the Seniors Against Crime program for a few months. I left that because they weren't doing anything. Evidently, there weren't enough problems. At least people weren't reporting them. And I read to the blind down at WFSU radio station. And I've developed a hobby in model shipbuilding with an emphasis on the Napoleonic Wars. Getting to know my grandchildren.
Yes, John and his wife got a surprise a few years ago. Their daughter had twins. That kind of multiplied your grandchildren.
Not only that, but it made me expand my home, because we soon discovered that there was no way to put them up, nowhere to put them up when they came down to visit, and we certainly wanted them to visit. So we added on to the house, and we've enjoyed having them quite a bit.
And the retired faculty have enjoyed going to their house regularly for
the
retired faculty events.
Yeah. We haven't got them in the pool yet. We'll have to do that soon, I think, before, well, actually, I don't know when we're going to have that again, but we'll have it
in September.
Yeah.
We usually get going again in September. All right, well, then one last thing I wanted to ask that's on here. You had Dean Goldstein, Dean Summers, and Dean Robbins during your career. Would you like to share any differences you saw between the three, as far as you were concerned?
Well, Dean Goldstein was pretty laid back, I think. He was a very easy guy to get along with. He had to be with some of the faculty we had back in those days, which I won't go into, but...
yeah, we had factions in the early days. Three factions that didn't like each other.
And some who felt that they could run the school a heck of a lot better than he could, which I think was very debatable. But anyway,
Ron and you and I remember that we were all given special treatment just before faculty meetings of how we were supposed to vote, since we were tenured.
We were given all sorts of special treatment.
Fortunately, we just did our own thing and survived.
Yeah, you just sort of had to grin and bear it and muscle through. But anyway, and I think Harold did a good job in developing the school. I didn't know Dean Shores, of course. I met him once after I came here, but he was in decline at that time. Now, Bill Summers, he's... I would say not more of an extrovert, but he was more involved, I think, in the university than Harold was. and he liked to play poker. So of course Harold did too. I'll never forget one poker game where Harold and I think you were there, and Ron was there, and at our house, and my father-in-law was there, who was a great poker player, and Charles Miller, and we were playing, and Harold said, "Okay, I'm calling the wild card," and he had the cards in his hand, and he decided he was going to call a wild card with a card in his hand, like a deuce or something in his hand was the wild card. Well, we never got over that. Anyway, but Bill expanded the curriculum, built up the faculty a bit. He became president of ALA and brought a lot of
that gave great recognition to our school.
Yeah, recognition to the school. Let's see, it was under him, I believe, or was it under Harold, that we started going to into extended programs to Miami and.
That was under Harold.
It was under Harold.
Harold started that.
Pensacola and so on.
Bill really refined it and developed it further.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'd even have two cohorts going at the same time.
Oh yeah. Those were interesting programs. Yeah, you're right. It was started under Harold because, I can remember Harold coming back from one of those. Now, Jane Robbins, she expanded the program even more. I think she really bootstrapped the school library science, as it was known then, and expanded it tremendously. Gave it even more national recognition. Some of our programs became nationally known under her tenure. She was able to get a lot of support from the university administration to develop new programs, undergraduate programs. We went into distance education under her. She really brought us into the 21st century, I think.
Yeah, I think Jane, Ron and I discussed that, and I think you would agree that she saw that the school, if we didn't do this, was going to go into decline.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, she was aware that if we didn't move forward, we were going to miss out on being one of the I schools.
Right.
She had the vision of the I schools.
Right.
Early on, before they even were formed.
She took, I think, some criticism for that from the profession. But she was forward-looking, and she did the right thing. She was wise enough to see what was coming and develop programs.
For instance, we faculty did not want to have huge classes, but we knew that we were going to have to enlarge our classes to justify the additional faculty.
Yeah.
You have to have a bigger enrollment before they'll ever give you, which eventually happened.
Yeah.
And the college now has 30-some faculty.
Yeah. Because up until about the time I retired, we only had about 13.
12.
That was 1999, 2000.
We ran between 10 and 13 most of our career.
Right.
Until near the very end.
Which was not, it's from a faculty member's point of view. From one point of view, it was very nice because it was almost like a family. But you need to get new blood in there and new programs, and she did that.
Well, really, thank you, John. This will help the students get a perspective of your background, and this is going to be a part of our history project for the college, so that students will be able to see these videos, and they will be able to, talk back with the new ways you can do it. We will now have at least the information, so they will know more about our faculty rather than just reading their Avitas or the information that's in the document.
Well, if they want to know any more about me, my fees are pretty reasonable.
Thank you, John.